a show where we talk about some of the athletes, some of the greatest athletes in all sports, winter and Olympic. Um, and today we have a few special guests, both from Jamaica, Olympic athletes, one winner, Benji Alexander, a Jamaican downhill skier, and Natoya Goule, who's an 800-meter runner. Actually know her pretty well as well. We've run in the same meets the last few years of our pro career. So, Mike, how's it going?
It's doing great. It's a nice and balmy 25 degrees out here in Connecticut. I got the long sleeves on, rocking that. Real excited to talk about snow with our two Jamaican athletes tonight.
But balmy, does that mean it's warm for Connecticut?
I mean, I'm not wearing a jacket today, so
That's nice.
whatever that tells you. Yeah, I'm super excited to talk with Benjamin, right? First Jamaican downhill skier in the Olympics. And I actually missed Natoya last time she was on, so I'm excited to finally play a little bit of catch up. Dude, 2 million views and counting on this show since the start of the Winter Olympics. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, no, definitely something that we didn't expect when we started this show. I always think about that. Whenever you say it, I'm like, oh man, probably a few 100,000 people are this episode. So hope I don't sound stupid.
Nah, well, I mean, we both probably sound stupid, but they're still gonna watch anyway. So hey, don't hang up. Don't close your phone. Just keep watching. I didn't mean to insult you. Yeah, I love this show. I love keep coming back. I'm glad that we're doing the show through. I don't know. There's no ending in sight as far as I'm concerned. You probably thought you were going to be done after 2 weeks, but keep reeling you back in. It's
hey,
great.
I'm with it. If we're gonna keep rolling the show and getting good guests, I'm all for it.
There you go.
Yeah. When it turns to just me and you talk for an hour for like 10 episodes in a row, maybe to shut it down. But as long as we can keep getting some interesting people on the show, I'm excited because I love learning about all the sports and hear all the athletes' stories and kind of where they come from, how they started, and really too learning that we've had on as well. As an athlete, I can get a lot of insight on how to improve as an athlete physically, but also mentally, the mindset that it. And I really enjoy that. So I look forward to talking to these athletes tonight.
Yeah, and from my perspective, being the non-athlete in the room, who's like 3 times Devon's age, I really enjoy. It's great. It's an unfiltered conversation. You don't find anything like this anywhere else, right? None of the other networks are doing this. This is athlete to athlete with a little me, whatever. But it's great. It's unfiltered conversation. World's greatest. We try to do content a little bit differently, and this show is kind of the perfect example of that. So I'm super excited. Benjamin Alexander should be on any moment now. Benji, as they call him. The NFTs are done, so I hope everyone out there bought your NFT because it's gonna be worth like $2 million really soon. I think
it has to be. They only go up. NFTs only go up.
That's right. It's gonna be worth at least.
Hey, not any legal advice.
It's gonna be at least $1 per view, right? So the more people that watch the show, the more it's gonna be worth. Is kind of what I say. So
that's how it works.
Yeah, it's whatever. So yeah, I'm really excited for it. I see Benjamin is in the chat. Can we just bring him in? Can we bring in Benjamin? Can we do that?
Fire emojis in the chat. He's waving at us. That means he's trying to get in here.
Bah, 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 bah. Come on, get him in. Get him in. There. Hey!
Oh, Benji, what's up, man?
Benjamin, are you in a car? Are you driving while podcasting? Is that what we're doing?
I'm definitely not driving, but I'm pulled over in a place that has a high beam staring at me, so you have great light on my face. I apologize.
No, I appreciate you looking out for the show. Get that lighting right. I got some weird house lighting where I got a shadow right here.
I mean, without it, we're toast, right? We're done.
Yeah.
I like the floating head aesthetic that you're bringing to the show. It really works. All right. So, Benji, we're calling you Ben. Whoa! Oh, things are going crazy.
Yeah.
We're calling you Benji, right? You go by Benji.
You Benji. Yeah, that's great.
First ever downhill skier to represent Jamaica in the Olympics. Obviously, that's not a Jamaican accent that you're sporting. So I'm curious. Give me your life story in 60 seconds because I got to know who you are and what do you do.
All right, I'm going to stopwatch here. As every sporting athlete does, I'm going to press start in 60 seconds. Born and raised just outside of London, England, to a Jamaican father and a British mother. I spent the first 23 years of my life in England, but I have dual citizenship. I graduated from electrical engineering in University College London, UCL, not to confuse with UCLA. And then moved to Asia, ended up working in finance. And while I was out in finance, I committed that cardinal sin of giving up your day job. I gave up my role in finance to be a professional DJ, spent 10 years on the road, performed across 5 continents and over 30 countries. And through the wacky people I met, end up finding the joy in skiing. And because of my Jamaican heritage, people kept saying, you should go to the Olympics. You should, follow in the footsteps of Cool Running and all of those guys. And with 7 seconds left to go, I will say that I just came back from Beijing, as you said, as the first ever alpine ski racer to represent Jamaica in the Winter Olympics. And that was 1 minute and 1 second. I'm sorry.
Oh, amazing.
You can't set a record every time. All right.
So you're from the UK. You have Jamaican parents. You compete for Jamaica, which I think is pretty cool. We see that a lot in track and field. A lot of athletes, we have Duplantis is a pole vaulter. He competes for Sweden, but he's born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, right? And so what do you think some of the benefits are for you, obviously, starting kind of late with the skiing? Is it super, super competitive in the UK and there's not as many skiers in Jamaica? Or, maybe there's a ton of skiers in Jamaica that we don't know and you're just the best one.
So here's the thing. There are definitely some advantages to coming to the fold late as it pertains to my athletic prowess, my ability to perform, my ability to compete with the other guys. It's all downside. I started skiing at the age of 32. All of my competitors in the Beijing Games probably started before the age of 2. And it is impossible to catch up with those guys. But as it pertains to breaking new ground, doing something new for a nation that doesn't have a legacy in winter sports, having to navigate and wear 50 different hats to effectively get that bid across the line, I wouldn't have done it had I been any younger. 5 years, 10 years younger, with any less experience of the world, any less experience of life, there's no chance I would have qualified. And so my story is really about breaking new ground, allowing the next generation of athletes that have started much younger to just focus on being athletes. Because to be very clear, I probably only spent 10% of my time focusing on being an athlete and had to spend 90% of my time on just figuring out how to make this thing work.
Okay. Did you partake in skiing in England? You don't think about England and skiing. That doesn't make sense to me.
No, we just had our first ever World Cup victory. So I say we for England and we for Jamaica. So we for England just had our first ever World Cup victory in January, I believe. Dave Riding, first time in 55 years anyone's at the top of the podium. No, England is not a big ski nation. There are 10 countries on the planet that are really good ski nations, competitive ski nations. One of them is the United States, Canada, of course. The rest of them are either in Scandinavian parts of the world or surround the Alps. And then there's everyone else, and no one else outside of that group of 10 has a chance, really.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense. So where exactly? You say outside of London, but I mean everyone says outside of London. Where exactly in the UK was that?
It's just easier to describe it that way, right? So my parents grew up. My father was born in Jamaica, moved to England at the age of just shy of his 5th birthday. Spent the best part of the first 20 years of his life in London, as did my mother. And then they moved just outside of the city to a place called Northamptonshire to raise children and to be able to afford housing.
Oh, okay. You a cobbler then? Is that it?
Oh wow! You're the first person.
If this was a football show, it would be 5 hours.
Oh
and
wow!
Yeah, he's a huge.
I just wouldn't say no. I know. Please, the Midlands.
You know,
That's where you go.
but believe it or not, the first ever time I was recognized in public was second half of January. I took my parents to a cobbler's football match, and at the end of the match, the guy in front of me in the row in front turns and says, "You're Benjamin, right?" I said, "Yes." "How do you know?" He said, "Good luck, chap. We'll be watching you."
Oh,
That's amazing.
There you go. Well, obviously you've been more successful, right, than the cobblers have as of late. You can't get you're an Olympian. You can't get relegated from that. You have that forever.
Pretty much, yeah.
So then, where were you at 32 years old when you decided to strap on the skis?
Whistler, Canada.
Good place for it.
Not bad. I don't know the audience and the type of people listen, but I can say that I was flown there as a DJ to perform at a swingers party. Not sure if that's the audience, but we'll throw that out there.
Let's
Hey,
talk about. Let's unpack that for a second.
so you were DJ at the time, literally like, hey, like I've never skied much. Let me give this a go. And you're like, this
Well,
sounds
let's
fun.
rewind it. So yeah, 2 months prior to that, I was invited to DJ at another ski experience, shall we say, which was a heli ski trip, not too far from Whistler, maybe about 6 hours inland, in British Columbia, in a place called Mica. And I saw my friends strap on these powder skis, and I thought this was the most incredible thing I'd ever seen any human do. Akin to your friends turning into superheroes after stepping out of the phone booth like Clark Kent. And I just thought right there and then, I'm not coming back to this trip as a DJ. I'm coming back as a skier. I want to learn how to ski. And that was really the turning point. And that was December 2015. First lesson was February 2016.
Wow, that's
And did you have any I'm saying any, maybe soccer, football? Did you play any other sports growing up? So that and
Right. Well, look, if the hosts of the show know about cobblers, they'll know that every single British boy grows up playing football or soccer, as you call it. And, our secondary sport would be the equivalent to whatever the US's seventh sport is, right? No one knows that. So I was a decent football player, but I think in every sport, at some point you meet your maker. For me, it was when I changed schools at the age of 11 and met someone who eventually went on to start for England. And when you see someone that is just head and
that good.
shoulders above everyone else, you're like, got it. This is not my thing.
Yeah.
Well, when you search for you on Google, you know how it has other suggestions. It says people also search for Dudley Stokes, right? Jamaican,
Oh, yeah.
right? Marco Odermatt,
Nice.
right? And Cristiano Ronaldo. Those are the
Boom.
3 names that pop up. So you're in pretty good company, and you're in pretty good company with Natoya Goule joining the show. What's up, Natoya?
What's up?
Hello.
I should say welcome back because I missed your last appearance,
Yes,
but I heard you carried the entire show. You were great. You were fantastic.
Thank you.
So let's bring me up to speed as if I don't already know. Tell everyone real quick who you are and what do you do.
Oh, I'm Natoya Goule. Hey, Devon.
Hey, what's up?
I'm from Jamaica. I'm the national record holder in the 800 meter for Jamaica. And here I am.
That's it. That was way less than 60 seconds.
Oh,
You smashed Benji's record.
My
You smashed it.
My bad. I didn't hear the 60. I'm sorry. I'm from Manchester, which, there's a Manchester in England as well. I am the last of 5 children from my mom, the last of 3 from my dad. I am married to a wonderful husband, Devon. He used to run track as well.
Mm-hmm.
I am a 2-time Olympian, which for track, that is not skiing. And I am also the indoor record holder for Jamaica. I'm currently ranked number 3 in the world for outdoors and second indoors with my time at this moment. I qualified for the World Indoor Championships and I'm waiting to go there in the next 2 weeks to come.
Congratulations
Amazing.
on that. That's awesome. So the show's called What Were You Thinking? So I got to ask, what were you thinking when you heard that Jamaica had a skier in the Olympics?
Listen, I was like, oh my gosh. All of them, I was like, ooh, we're going back to bobsled now. We have Jamaicans in the Winter Olympics.
I feel like if you got all your sprinters, like you get Johan Blake and all those guys, they could dominate the bobsled. To be
Listen,
honest,
I'm gonna tell you this:
idea.
if they go and play and do bobsled, is those athletes that already come to the United States that have that experience with the cold. Jamaicans are afraid of the cold. Like 70 degrees is cold for them.
True.
I don't think anyone would do that.
Would Asafa Powell fit in a bobsled? I don't think so.
Oh no, probably not.
No. Those guys are big. The bobsled guys are big. You fit pretty much anyone in there for sure. I slept right beside them. We shared dormitories over this last games. They're pretty big human beings.
Actually, one of the bobsled guy, he was a runner, Rolando Reed.
Yeah.
He went to Monroe College. Like, that's my friend. And I only knew that he was on the website team, I think last week or 2 weeks ago.
Really?
I did
Wow.
not
I
know.
mean,
I was like, is that Rolly? Because we call him Rolly. I'm like, is that Rolly?
to your previous statement, there's a song about that, right? Lots of people say they can't believe Jamaica, we have an alpine ski team.
Hey.
Wait. How many Jamaican athletes are on the alpine ski team? Is it just you?
Well, if you count all of my split personalities, probably 7, but just physically me.
Just you right now. Okay. Hey, well, you know what? You might have, set a precedence. You never know. The next coming Winter Olympics, there might be a few athletes. Especially
Uh,
too. Natoya, you went to a U.S. college, right?
Yeah.
A couple, and that seems to be kind of the trend now. A lot of athletes from all over the world come to the U.S. and during spring break or winter break, one of the Jamaican athletes might go to Park City, Utah, or Steamboat Springs,
Yeah.
and hop on the skis, which would
Not
be pretty
me.
funny.
Not me.
Let's
Is
make
there
it
an
happen.
Is there an Olympic sport you would try, or Winter Olympic sport that you would try? I mean, even curling has got it. I mean, you could try that. You wouldn't do the you don't think you would do well on the giant slalom?
I don't even know what that is.
I mean, look,
Please
guys.
explain, Benji. Explain the giant slalom.
Yeah, so before I explain the giant slalom, one of the interesting things that I'm going to be working on for the next Olympic cycle and beyond is finding Jamaicans that can do much better at the games than I can. So there's the alpine ski racing side of things that requires 80% technique, and you have to have done this thing for 20 years. So we rely on the diaspora for that. But then there's also sports such as speed skating and cross-country skiing that you can train on roller skates, on rollerblades in Jamaica, and then do 3-month crash course. And so one of the things I'm going to do when I go to Jamaica in a couple of weeks is scout some athletes that will potentially be our athletes at the 2026 games. And so my mission is to make sure the next Jamaican contingent of athletes that go to the Winter Games is 20 or above. We broke a record with 7 athletes. Let's get 20 Jamaicans at the Winter Games. And it's all about finding those sports that we can train during the summer and then transfer those skills. Just like what's her name? Erin Jackson, the American speed skater, the African American.
We had
Yep.
her on the
We
show.
had on this show.
There you go. She just put speed skates on 5 years ago, right? So we can train Jamaicans in Jamaica to be incredible rollerbladers and then train them for that last 10%, 20% into the winter side of things and start to bring some medals back to Jamaica in the winter side of the Olympics. That's my goal.
Well,
I
if
mean,
you want me to, I can broadcast it for you.
hey,
I'll follow.
Please,
Hey,
please.
Listen, I can
summer
say
Winter Olympic
Jamaicans,
tag
Jamaicans.
team.
Yeah, I can, trust me. I can broadcast it for you.
I mean, look, there are so many parallels with my story to Cool Runnings that I actually want to go back and lean into that parallel. I want to find great athletes that can sit inside of a fridge freezer with me for an hour and see who survives, because that's the guy I'm going to take to Norway with me to learn how to do cross-country skiing, for example.
Okay, I
gosh.
like that. There's got to be, I mean, like, at least just 1 or 2 sports. Like, you just go down there, go to Kingston, grab anyone off the street, push them down, and say, "You're in the luge." And there's no other competition. They're just going.
Yeah.
Go to Manchester. Go to Manchester. Manchester is the cool parish.
Oh,
They're already used to it being a little chilly in the mornings.
Okay.
So go
Okay.
to go in the hilly parts of Jamaica.
but
You
you
know, the
got to
mountainous
imagine there's some sports like the skeleton, which is just the luge, except you're on your stomach going head first. That the barrier to entry is just, I mean, the qualification is you're from Jamaica and you're crazy and you go and do this sport, and that's basically it.
It's not that simple. It's not that simple. First of all, you have to survive enough races to get to the Olympics.
Touche.
And qualify, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talents in Jamaica. I believe you will find some.
There
You
is
just have to
a
search.
new sport in the 2026 games called ski mountaineering.
Oh,
which-
skimo. Yep.
Which is for those who don't know, it's essentially like cross country skiing combined with mountain climbing. It's like cross country skiing up a giant mountain, basically, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit more intricate than that. I would describe it as, so basically, if you know about backcountry skiing, it's normal skiing with no chairlift. So you put the skis on your back, you climb a mountain. I did a lot of this during COVID because all the mountains were closed, but then you ski down. So it has more parallels with alpine alpine skiing than it does with cross-country skiing, because the skis are much closer to alpine skis than they are cross-country skis. But happy to hear that that's going to be part of it. Maybe I'll go back to the Olympics next time around.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
you
Why
guys
not?
been
Be
practicing
one of those
that.
two sport athletes.
Right.
Absolutely. Devon, I mean, we've been looking for a sport for you in the
All
winter.
right.
You
To
think
be
that's
honest,
cool?
I'm for it. I gotta, I'm interested in learning. I'm kind of leaning towards speed skating just because that's like kind of my flow is right here. But going downhill skiing, ski jumping would be good. I'm a good jumper. Yeah, it's pretty. There's a lot of stuff you could do, and like Benji said, some of the athletic capabilities I've already developed as an elite athlete, and I can move that into something else if I wanted to.
But it sounds like with ski mountaineering, you still got to go down. Is
Yes.
too, right? So
Yeah.
you lost me.
So it's a race up and then down.
Yeah, I mean, imagine it's like I'm gonna go climb to the top of this mountain, then I'm gonna go down this mountain, and it just sounds really difficult. But I'm excited to see it. So it's coming to where is that gonna be? Italy, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cortina.
Going back to Italy. Okay, there you go. I like it.
All right, let's take a little quick parallel or detour from track and field and Winter Olympics, and I want to talk about Benji. You're a DJ. Jamaica is known for crazy parties. Have you ever DJ'd in Jamaica? And if so, are you going to be there for the racers meet this year? Because I'm ready to get after it.
So, sadly not. The type of music that I became famous for and traveled the world with doesn't really have a place in Jamaica. House music, techno music. But interestingly, the music that got me into DJing back in the year 2000 and 1999 was heavily influenced by Jamaican dancehall and bashment and Elephant Man and Capleton. So I was in Jamaica for 4 months through 2020, and there was nothing happening. The whole country was under lockdown, 8 p.m. curfew. I'm going to go back in a few weeks' time, and I'm going to be back for the 60-year independence, which happens in August. For sure, I will be in a party. Will I be the DJ? We don't know yet. Just watch this space.
Hey, I'm just saying, if you guys need a DJ, I'm ready to go.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I've been
link up with both. It will teach you.
Yeah, DJing is fun. It is fun. I think most everyone loves music, and DJing gets you, let you be a part of the music a little bit more.
Yeah.
For sure. And so, did you start DJing like, as a young kid? You were in the UK, and then you kind of was like, okay, this is my thing. This is what I love, and you can make money. That's what me and Natoya get lucky to do, is we get to run track, and we love doing that, and that's how we make money.
I fell in love with DJing, as I said, at the year 2000, age 17. The music that I was playing was in a scene that became incredibly violent, and at the time I was studying physics at one of the best universities in the world, and I decided to prioritize my studies. It wasn't until much later in life that I said, hey, I have this other superpower that will get me out of the office and get me out of the humdrum of being a finance guy. Let's see what happens with DJing. So it was kind of a weird process of first getting decks to becoming a professional DJ, which was spread out over almost 10 years.
Were you on records to start? I mean, I guess 2000,
absolutely.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
I'm only 27, but
yeah, no, we're going back to pre-SoundCloud, pre-YouTube. Pioneer didn't even have this.
Let's go.
Yeah. Pioneer didn't even have the CD mixers right then, and so what you have is the fourth generation or fifth. You start with records, then CDs, then USB laptops, and now this built-in thing that you have. That's kind of where we're at. So yeah, no, I started with the turntables, and very thankful that I caught the end of that.
That's amazing. That's an interesting skill, and I'm not even there. Right, this is the first thing I learned on my stepmom a record player for Christmas like 3 times ago, and I learned how to get it to work. This last Christmas, I was home. We never got it to work. We counterbalance was on backwards,
right,
so it was smashing the records. It was sounding crazy, and I was like, "What's going on?" Like, we can't like. Berg is brand new, and it wasn't playing any sound, and then we flipped it around and sounded Prince, and it was a cool moment because it'd been 3 years since it was a thing.
So
It's a great skill to have. Just to be able to put two pieces of vinyl, two records together, and make them sing in harmony is a skill that a lot of new DJs don't get the chance to kind of learn, unfortunately. But anyone that asks me how to learn how to DJ, if we can't put them onto records, then at the very least we put them onto something like you have, but you have to cover up the BPM readout, so you could have to do everything by your ear, old school way.
Yeah. So I want to switch gears a little bit, Benji. Tell me about SOS Outreach, because there is a program, and I did a little bit of research, and it sounds absolutely fantastic, and you're affiliated with them. So I want you to use this platform. Tell us a little bit about what this is.
Yeah, thank you for asking. I always forget to talk about the good stuff that I do.
I'm here for you, buddy.
So I'm affiliated with SOS Outreach. It's a charity based out of Denver. Their mission is to bring children from underprivileged backgrounds, low socioeconomic backgrounds into the mountains. And they believe that by bringing kids into the outdoors, you're not just necessarily bringing kids into this bougie, sport of skiing that is unaffordable for most, but actually you're teaching them survival and leadership skills. I'm also working with a charity that's technically an affiliate of SOS called the Doug Coombs Foundation. And next Thursday, anyone that's coming through Jackson Hole, Wyoming, can have the opportunity to ski with the stars, of which I will be one of. And all of that money goes towards the exact same purpose, but here in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, where I call home right now.
There you go. It has been brought up on the show a couple different times that skiing, actually a lot of winter sports, it seems that it's very kind of bucketed in terms of the types of people who have those opportunities, right? To be able to ski, to be able to skate, all that kind of stuff. Not only do you have to be in the right climate, but you also have to have the right kind of socio-economic upbringing, if you will, right? So this really takes that and turns it on its head, right?
Yeah, exactly. And look, I don't think skiing is racist or any of the winter sports are racist, despite if you were just to look at the numbers objectively and assume that that would be the case. All of the winter sports are incredibly equipment heavy, which means that they are way more expensive than a lot of the summer sports. And on top of that, they require, generational knowledge. So your father and your father's father was a ski racer if you are a successful ski racer. And for the most part, look, here in America, and Natoya can attest to this, the majority of minorities live in urban centers. They don't live in the mountains. They don't have access to these sports. And so for the people that do live in urban centers that get access to these sports, they are the people that have, a disposable income to allow them to go for a week in Aspen or to Jackson or these other places. And so, what we're really trying to do is bring diversity into winter sports.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a great mission. Yeah.
Natoya, real quick. You said you were getting ready for World Indoor. What is kind of the insight? What are your goals for this year in terms of competing indoors? I know a lot of Jamaicans don't do that, and you seem to be one of them that does. And then, selfishly, the U.S. championships are in where I went to college, University of Oregon. So I hope to see world champs as well. What are some of your goals for this year and kind of moving forward with your career?
Well, I'm just taking it one step at a time, because you have a saying, you can't count your eggs before they hatch. So even though I am known as one of the, the top athletes now based on how I'm performing indoors, coming World Indoors, it's like I'm a brand new person. Like when you line up on that line, it doesn't matter who ran what time before, you got to go there and compete. And I'm looking forward to go there and compete and, hopefully get one of those medals for my country. And, moving outdoors, I just want to continue with that beat, And yes, I really do love to compete in Oregon. Well, the stadium. I'm not a big fan of Eugene, but I like the stadium.
Oh no.
I'm not.
That's okay.
I like the track.
Yeah, no, it's a good atmosphere.
Didn't you win an NCAA championship in Eugene?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I like the track.
Oh, you just don't like the town. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Where's your favorite place to compete? in the world?
Oh, Monaco.
Monaco. Oh,
I know you like Monaco, Devon. I know
bougie.
you-
I like Monaco. It's fun.
Listen, Monaco is nice.
Yeah,
Like, oh my
it is
God.
nice. Oh, I like it. Benji, where do you compete a lot in? Like Nordic countries, right? What's one of your
Ah,
favorite places you've
cold,
been?
cold places.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be skiing somewhere, I love to be here in Jackson Hole. It's some of the best skiing on the planet for sure.
Okay.
What is Jackson Hole? I've heard that for some reason before. What's it famous in winter sports?
It's famous for Corbett's couloir, and it's one of those places that a lot of skiers come to kind of prove themselves or to go home kind of semi-handicapped.
Okay. Oh, you know what? That's what it is. All my buddies are like, oh, I just came home from Jackson Hole and they have casts on.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it
Exactly.
is.
There you go. It's the winter version of the Mavericks, right out there in California. But your competition schedule though is primarily European and some in Asia as well, right? Like, or is it different?
So
We've been talking to a lot of Nordic combined athletes, and obviously the ski jumps and the cross country, and it's a lot of it way more popular out there. Is that the same when it comes to slalom and alpine?
there's just a greater density of races that you can qualify at with inside of Europe, right? Because a country is a country. It's not the same as a state being a state. There's a lot more races with inside of that high density of countries in Europe than there is with inside, the United States being one country. So it allows you to bounce between races much more readily, and everyone kind of bases themselves out of Switzerland or Austria if they're serious about this sport, including the Americans.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
What's your favorite European? I mean, other than the UK, because that's your home. And they're not part of the European Union anymore. But go ahead.
Yeah, I know.
Not part of Europe anymore. No, not at all.
Yeah.
So I lived in the party mecca of Ibiza for 5 years.
Oh, you have to tell the story.
Yeah, I think I would go back and talk about that more so than where I prefer to ski. Like Ibiza is Ibiza.
Oh, really? This is a family-friendly show, though, so
Yeah.
we'll have to cut you short a little bit. How much was it more partying or DJing or just all of the above, just mashed into one big old
It is a party.
sunset?
It was a blur. I mean, Ibiza is one place on the planet where during the summer you could spend 18 weeks, 7 nights a week, and every night of that week every night you have a choice between 3 epic parties of 5,000 people plus with the best performers, best artists on the planet. And that's not even to talk about the beach parties and the after parties. You could literally, I mean, the first time I went there, I think I got 10 hours sleep in a week.
What?
Yeah. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to be. That's what I'm going.
Natoya's like, I get that every night.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
I'll be a zombie. Like,
Yeah. See, Devon, all of a sudden Eugene doesn't sound that cool anymore, does it?
No, it doesn't. That's why. Yeah. And Monaco doesn't sound that cool because all there is yachts, no parties though.
Yeah.
no. I'm
Real
not
quick,
going down the road.
Benji. I got a funny question. Maybe I have a friend that manages artists, right? DJs, bands and stuff like that. And he always tells me about specific writers. You know what that is, right?
Oh yeah.
What's something that has to be on your docket when you go perform? Like say, hey Benji, I want to hire you. I'm having a party of 5,000 people at the Rose Bowl, and I wanted to go crazy. What do I have to do in order to do that? You don't have to tell me the dollar amount, but it could be the other stuff.
What's really funny is I'm happy you just said this was a family show, because some of the things that I've seen on those riders do not belong on
It's not a family
anything
show at all.
PG-13.
Tell us.
But we've all heard of these crazy stories of the rock star that shows up and says, I want a bowl of M&Ms, but only the blue one in the bowl. I've seen so many crazy things like that. I'm kind of a laid back guy. I don't mind what alcohol is. I'm happy with that. I'm very technical as it pertains to, like, I absolutely will not play if it's this speaker system that you have in the club. Just kind of anal stuff like that. But I've been on both sides. I also founded a festival, and so I've seen some of these ridiculous riders come into me as well. And for the most part, you just kind of throw them away, and you're like, whatever, buddy. We'll get you this other brand of champagne. I don't care.
What's one of the craziest things someone has asked for? PG.
No, the kids are sleeping. It's past 9:30. We can talk about it.
You know, look, the life of an athlete is very different to the life of a DJ. You know, there's lots of extracurricular stuff you can ask for when you're a DJ, and that's part of the job. So, I mean, look, I was paid to be drunk for 10 years. Let's just put it that way.
Hey,
So when you got to Beijing, your first question was, the drinks are on the house, right? Like,
No, I've got a better one than that. So I was warned by the other ski teams that they were checking for alcohol. So in the airport, we bought, you know, my coach and I bought almost 8 liters of whiskey, and then we bought 8 liters of Lipton iced tea. And of course, we poured out the iced tea and emptied the whiskey bottles into the Lipton bottles. And if we were to be questioned, we just had Jamaican sports drink.
oh God! Wait, so that's a true story? Did they even?
That's
did
a
they
true
even
story.
check? They didn't check.
Well, they looked, but they didn't take it. I mean, it's Lipton iced tea, man.
Yeah. Wait, you're not allowed to have alcohol in the village, or is it just because it was China?
No alcohol in the village. So under normal circumstances, you would just go across the road and have a beer with your buddy, right? You'd walk out of the village and you'd be in some place like, I don't know, Cortina or Salt Lake City, and there's a bar across the street and you have a couple of beers. This was China. This was the Squid Games, you know. We couldn't get out.
Oh, okay.
All of the staff were in hazmat suits. All of a sudden, rooms were mysteriously emptied with a bunch of Squid Games hazmat people disinfecting it. We kind of came in a bit prepared. This was a very weird Olympics.
So that was a COVID thing.
COVID plus China. COVID
Okay,
plus
I was about to say that's not how it was in Rio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
China
No, I
is
know.
you're talking to an Olympic Village beer pong champion right here.
Yeah. Hey, actually, to be honest, we beat the UK versus USA in beer pong, and I hit the game.
Wow.
So
That's
blessings.
You know, I can lean on my Jamaican passport when you talk about bad things from England.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah, you're Jamaican.
Oh Lord.
No, that's funny. That's so no alcohol. So your village experience, you guys didn't party much then after you just left.
No,
Got up.
no.
and
So
went.
put it this way. After I finished my event, I rushed back to my dorm, packed my bags, and jumped on the plane. I was out of there immediately.
Wow.
Was that like a requirement? Like, Devon and Natoya, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, wasn't Tokyo like 48 hours after you're done, you're out, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and some people, like, you know, left earlier, you know, if like they could, right? Like
A lot of people wanted to leave actually because they're like,
Yeah.
why am I staying here?
Yeah. Same thing in Beijing. And so I had a beautiful welcoming party of 60 people that met me at the airport, and then we partied till 8 a.m. the next day. So I was just keen to get out of Beijing.
and you went back to Wyoming or the UK?
Exactly. Yeah. Wyoming.
Wyoming.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
that's amazing.
animal?
Yo, hey Benji, I gotta get your number so when I'm in
Yeah.
Wyoming we can turn
No,
up.
he needs to link up with Bolt. This little Bolt like to party too.
Oh, there you go.
Dude, hey, this year is for the racers meet. If it goes on, we got meet directors to pay Benji to come out and DJ for us.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sick, yo, that'd be dope.
I've seen DJs at the American Track League events, right? So
Ooh, we get P Diddy to do it.
someone get Paul Doyle.
Paul Doyle
on
a
the
call.
phone. Yeah, we need
Yo, that's a
DJ
great
Benji.
idea.
You got a better name than DJ Benji, I'm sure, right?
Yeah,
No,
Benji.
Just my name, Benjamin Alexander.
Yeah.
Simple.
That-
I mean,
oh,
like,
Oh,
yeah.
Benji's better.
Benji skis.
Benji is better.
It's gotta
No,
be
but, hey,
Benji skis.
but that's
Benji slopes.
all the go by their name. So you have to be one of the greats, right? Steve Aoki.
Yeah. Just my name. That's it.
Oh.
No need
You
to.
know, there's a DJ that I like out of the UK. His name's James Hype. Do you know who that is?
No.
Oh,
No,
it's a
I
great
never
name,
heard of
though.
him.
He,
DJ Hype?
he does like house music, so that's you know, something
Okay,
similar.
okay. I know of
Like-
DJ
like-
Hype, but it's not James Hype.
It might be DJ Hype. I don't know, but he in COVID, right? So there's a whole bunch of creators and stuff doing content to try to like build their brands, and they couldn't DJ
Yeah.
parties. So he would like live stream whole sets on Twitch and YouTube. It'd be like fire emojis in the chat. Like there'd be like 50,000 fire emojis because like 50,000 people were watching, and I'd be in my house, you know, by myself with the speakers on, just like, you know, by myself, like. So, yeah, it's awkward. But hey, you know, we was COVID. Everybody was solo dolo.
All bets are off. All bets are.
Yeah.
We just saw that tweet that showed you as the flag bearer for Jamaica in Beijing. Tell me what that experience was like.
Insane. As I said, I've been involved in producing events, multi-thousand person events, and understanding like the effort that goes into it, and just being behind the scenes and being one of the performers, shall we say, as a flag bearer for Jamaica of all countries. Because let's be honest, it's the coolest country when you're talking about the Olympics, right? And so to be a flag bearer was just an incredible honor. I don't get nervous about many things, but walking into that stadium, knowing the eyes of the world were going to be on us, knowing that we had the fortune of being the 8th country out, so people hadn't been fatigued of like all of the other countries before that point, was just incredible. It was definitely a moment that I'll remember for the rest of my life.
That's awesome. That's really cool. What was that experience like? Just because I know with I don't know if it was the same with you, Natoya, but Devon, the USA track wasn't in the opening ceremonies in Tokyo. Was that the same with you, Natoya?
No, we were in it.
You made
We
it out
were.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we didn't get to go.
Really? Why?
there.
You know what? I'm not exactly sure, and I don't want to get political on the on the podcast, but the track team wasn't allowed to go this time. Unfortunately, which kind of sucks because luckily I've competed in 2016 Olympics in 2020, so I got to experience it. But that the Tokyo Games was their first Olympics, and say their last, but it's quite possible, right? You only make one Olympics. It's a great career, and to not really get the chance to do opening ceremony or closing ceremony.
But I think you guys came in late too, so I think probably that's one of the reasons.
They told us initially that we can only be there 5 days before our event, and then we were like seeing, everybody on social media, like my buddies from different countries, they got there like the first day, and I'm like, what?
Yes, it was the same with us too. I think we got 7, maybe because most persons coming from Jamaica.
Yeah.
So when I get there, like some of the athletes that came out of the US, they did not even reach. My friend wanted to be at the ceremony, but he came that same day as the ceremony. She didn't get to go to the opening ceremony. I was one of the lucky ones that was there to, so most persons, like our the amount of persons that was in ours was not everybody. Like 2016 was a lot, but this time it was not a lot. And then the rain started falling, so you didn't miss nothing.
No, but it's still a good experience. And Benji, you guys only had 7, right, for your ceremony?
Yeah, exactly. Just 7 athletes. So all of us were there, fortunately.
Oh, great.
I don't believe that there was any restrictions on people being in the opening ceremony at Beijing, but like Tokyo, they asked people to leave 48 hours after their event or their medal ceremony.
Oh, okay. That's interesting, and there's much more games, right, Natoya? More than 7.
Yeah, way more.
Yeah, it was way more because we have like the I think it was the swimmers. We have
I only think not that Jamaica doesn't do other sports, but obviously they're so good at track and field. That's like all we're focused on. It's like the Jamaican.
Yeah.
Not JOA. JOA does not focus on just track. To me, I think they probably like the other sports more than track. JOA.
Well, it kind of seems like it if Benji, bringing a whole bunch of people to try to recruit other athletes for winter sports. It seems like they're trying to throw some money, maybe investing and bring into different sports and even the winter games, which is interesting in the sense that we've had a bobsled team that they've been famous for, downhill skiing. Just an amazing opportunity, really. I might sneak into Jamaica, get a Jamaican passport, and see if I can join the team.
Yeah.
See if they'll take me.
Would you even be able to make your track and field team though, Devon? I don't know.
Hey, it'd be tough. To be honest, Jamaica USA hurdles right now is like been crazy.
They're battling each other like
5
crazy.
Years. Yeah.
Like when it comes to certain events in Jamaica, US and Jamaica is at it like this.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like it stops after the 800.
No, not even the 800, because I'm the only one really.
Oh, that's I was giving you the benefit of the doubt, but I mean, okay.
I 100,
more. 200, a little 400, Natoya, and then it's just like, what happened? We're
Yeah,
1500.
the
It's
bottling
like,
part, yes, but like with making the team wise,
hmm?
we have some space for the women part and the men part, But
Yeah,
with the bottling part, yes,
there you
I'm
go.
always in the mid somewhere.
So we're talking about citizenships. Devon's gonna get his Jamaican citizenship. Benjamin, I'm putting your dual citizenship to the test right now. I want you to tell me if a beef patty or like a nice proper Midlands hock and dough. If it's
Oh,
your last.
no comparison. Beef patty every day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's a hock and dough? What is that?
It's
Like a
delicious.
pie.
It's a pie. It's an English pie that's kind of
Oh,
Yeah.
from
I
the
gotta
area
taste
that
that.
that
I
that,
think
that
I need to
benefits
taste
from
it.
Don't
I don't know.
waste your time. It's okay. Just stay with the beef patties.
Hey,
Yeah,
you know what's though, English breakfast. Very underrated.
Oh, a
Yes,
proper full
yes.
English?
Hey,
There's
a proper
nothing
full
better.
English,
Nothing
especially with
better.
some tea.
Oh no, it's the mushrooms. The mushrooms are what make it. You don't get mushrooms, but you get those
Or the
field
fried
mushrooms.
tomatoes.
The fried
Mhm.
tomato, those are always good. I mean, beans. You don't get beans for breakfast
Oh,
here.
there it is.
You get the eggs. I am a huge black pudding fan.
wait, that's the
Huge
English
black pudding fan.
breakfast?
Yeah, I
Do
mean,
you
it's
black pudding?
close.
Benji, is black pudding for you? You like?
I'm
mixed
in for all of it.
I spent a little over a month doing a TV show. I was producing a TV show over there. It was my first time over there. I had the black pudding. I didn't know what I was getting into. I fell in love. Then they told me what it was. I gagged and ate more. It's awesome. And now there's a spot here in Connecticut close by. It's called UK Gourmet. Shout out to you. I get it all the time. It's great. There's nothing better than a proper English breakfast. Nothing.
Oh,
Amazing.
Jamaican breakfast proper.
Ma'am, you need to calm down.
You know our breakfast is like eating dinner.
Tell me.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so what's in a Jamaican
Okay,
breakfast?
so you
I
have
don't
your
like this
African
cantaloo stuff.
saltfish. You
I
will
don't
have,
like that.
okay, you have different ones.
You
Okay,
don't like Hello? Oh, hey, shout out UK Gourmet. There you go.
so you will have your ackee and saltfish with fried dumplings,
Mhm.
or
Love
you have
it.
ackee and saltfish with cooked dumpling, with bananas, with the yams, or I don't really care for kalaloo either. It's okay. But you can also have stewed chicken with
Yeah.
fried dumpling, or also boiled dumplings, all those stuff. Or people
Okay.
eat patties too for breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No cantaloo for breakfast.
Isn't that like a
I don't want it.
spinachy type thing? It's a green
Yeah.
Hello, right? Yeah.
It's
It's
okay.
just
I'm scared of it.
greens. I don't
I'm
like not
scared
for
of it.
breakfast.
Yeah, I'm
I
scared of
I don't know
color.
if I could do that. I'm
Like
so
Jamaican
American.
collard greens, kind of, except not
Yeah,
as
it's
good.
almost like colored green.
Okay.
No,
If you want,
sounds good.
I will talk football and food, the two F's, right here all day. But we're getting close to the end of the show, so we won't. Okay.
Well, wait. Here's a quick hot take that we actually had an argument with some of the coaches that I coach with at the Naval Academy. What is better, an average pancake, average waffle?
Oof.
Oh, that's
big one.
hard.
An
'Cause I
average
feel-
pancake or an
Because
average-
here's better than pancakes on average, and a really good pancake times. So
I gotta go waffle. I gotta go average waffle.
I'm a big waffle guy.
I gotta go waffle.
Waffles is good. Because sometimes the pancakes it's not that nice.
Yeah, I've had a lot of bad pancakes, most of them made by myself. Waffles, no, I haven't had that many bad ones.
Okay, so that settles it. I'm taking this clip.
The,
I'm
answer,
clipping
the
it
answer
instead
was
of telling
ackee
my
and
questions.
saltfish is the answer.
Ackee and
You know
salt.
what? You just gave me a great idea. We should do Jamaican inspired waffles. So you can ride the tram here at Jackson Hole up to 10,500 feet. And there's this little cabin that is famous for its waffles before you set out and, try to not kill yourself. It would be fantastic to do a bunch of like Jamaican inspired waffles with like curry gold
I was just
and like
oxtail.
ackee and saltfish. That would be amazing. I'm gonna
Instead of
speak to
chicken
them
and waffles,
tomorrow.
you
Made with
eat
the
waffles and
Spanish
curry
water, just all of it.
Yeah,
Oh,
would be
Spanish
yeah.
water.
I will talk to you about food all day. I'm telling you.
Don't speak about Manish water. That is like my favorite thing in the whole world.
Wait, what
Is
is
it now?
that?
Okay. See. All right. We oxtail and grits, jerk chicken and waffles. We're going to Houston.
I
Wow.
can't
I'm
wait
in.
for Devon to go to races.
No, I've been there. I've had the
Oh,
food,
you
but
had the
maybe I just
food.
don't know what it is by name. I like it. I'm not against it.
All right. So as I was trying to end the show earlier, I'm going to try to end the show again. So we call the show "What Were You Thinking?" I already gave Natoya a question earlier, so I'm gonna start with Benji here. I'm just kind of curious, what were you thinking when you qualified for the Winter Olympics for Jamaica in a sport that you had essentially just started? You're still a rookie compared to most others. What were you thinking when you finally came to the realization, like, oh damn, I'm an Olympian?
Relief. As I said, I come from an engineering background, and I'm not one to kind of send myself on a fool's errand. I knew this thing was possible, but it was just made harder and harder and harder by COVID, by races being cancelled, by borders being closed over the last 2 years. And so when it finally happened with inside of the qualification window, relief was the number one feeling, the number one thought. Like, okay, it happened.
Did
There
you
you
get the
go.
ring? Did you get the Olympic tattoo yet?
I was thinking about it. So I don't have any tattoos yet. But there's this new technology where there's fading ink, right? It only lasts for 9 months. I was thinking about getting one right here in my head for 9 months just to see how it felt.
Just let everybody know like, you're the guy.
Yeah, I did that thing, the Jamaican colors. The best thing about the Olympic rings? The
Huh.
black ones in the middle.
All mine are black.
Oh my God.
There you go. If you're getting a permanent one though, where are you putting it?
Somewhere only a future wife would see it, like the Wendy joke.
Sir, we're back to being a family-friendly show. There you go. Devon, you know Natoya fairly well. You got a what were you thinking question for Natoya?
Yeah, Natoya, what were you thinking when you first arrived in Eugene? You landed in the airport and you drove that little weird all the way to campus. What was going through your mind when you were like, where before you saw the track, obviously? What were you thinking when you first saw Eugene?
I was like, what is this place? I was like, wow. I'm from the country in Jamaica, but I'm in the country.
Yeah. Hey, I'm from Central Phoenix, like a large metropolitan city. So going from there to Eugene, a very, very small town, still love. Definitely was a culture shock. When I got there, it was raining as well. And I was like, man, this place, but hey, I love it. And
As I go closer and closer, though, Devin, I'm like, I've never seen so many people living outside, especially when
oh
I'm
yeah.
running.
Oh yeah.
Running
I
on
mean, the homeless problem has, in Oregon in general, Portland and Eugene have
yes,
gotten
I was like, I've
pretty
never seen
crazy.
so many homeless people so much because we run along the river,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, wow.
Nomads out there.
So I'm
A
gonna
lot of
end the show on a
nomads.
high note, guys. Fun facts. We like to do some fun facts. There's a great fun fact that we looked up for alpine skiing. I gotta throw it out there for you. Lindsey Vonn, we all know who she is, right? Legend in the sport. When she won the World Cup in France in 2005, she had a choice between $1,200 cash, which is not bad, or a cow. Which one do you think she went with?
The cow.
Just saw Lindsay here in Jackson 2 days ago. She definitely took the cow.
She definitely
Wow.
took the cow. What would you have taken the cow? There's the cow. She won a cow. Devin, would you have taken the cow or the $1,200?
How do you travel with the cow?
No. You're calculating wrong. How much milk can you get? That's
Wait,
what the
did
calculation
you
is.
just say
Oh.
calculating, or was that just your accent?
Yeah,
Did you
no,
mean
that's
to say
definitely.
that, or-
It was both. I was calculating.
Very nice.
Wait, that's a good point.
You know that
How
cows
much money
cost
can you
a
make from
lot,
the cow?
right? Cows cost a lot. You know that.
Wow.
Yeah, but how do you
mean,
get the cow home from France?
Oh, it was in France.
It was in
Yeah.
France.
where you
Just
living in
buy an
France? Do you
extra
sell
seat.
French
No
milk?
one would mind.
French
They would
milk.
have to
People
ship
would.
over.
People on the plane would happily move over.
Yo, Benji, you should get on
Ooh.
with Alex. We got a comedian.
I don't know. We put Benji and Hooper on the same show. Things could get pretty crazy. See, I would
Yeah.
leave the cow in France give it to like some cheese makers and just have an endless supply of brie coming my way. Like, is brie is that cow's milk? I don't know what it. Either way,
we could
Who
work
knows?
something out over
Who knows?
there. Because you can breed the cow. If it's a man, you get a woman and breed and expand. Start a business. I call business over
The
there.
empire.
So I think
Vaughn
I
Farms
think
is
this
the
is
most French
this is
name I've ever heard.
it's kind of it's kind of like a copy of what happens up in Lapland. There's a couple of World Cup races in Finland up there, and the winner gets a reindeer, which means they actually just get to name the reindeer, which means the reindeer never gets killed for meat. So kind of like a continuation of that.
It's kind of like when someone's like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy a star." Like, you're not buying a star. You're not getting a reindeer. It's the same reindeer every year. They just keep renaming it. They use the whatever that crazy ink is, and they tattoo its name on for 9 months. So by the time the next one comes around, it's a fresh reindeer. No one knows the wiser.
Exactly.
It's pretty crazy. I
That's
love
a
it,
good
guys.
prize.
This was a fun show. I gotta say.
We up in here.
I feel like we could keep going. We got the Jamaican theme night is going to be a new thing. We'll have DJ Benji Skis. What was it? Benji Slopes coming on the show. Yeah. No, we'll and Natoya. I need a good name for you now. We gotta figure that.
Hey, give me like 10 years, 20.
Okay.
Too.
It's Warrior.
Me and Benji would be on the.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll get that right. She's ready to jump through the computer and choke me right now. Do you see this? I love it. Well, real quick, before we let you guys go, let the people know where they can find you on social media, where they can find you racing, organization-wise, whatever. This is your time. Give yourself a free shout-out. Benji, where can we find you?
Natoya first.
Damn.
Oh. Okay. So you can find me on Instagram, Natoya_Goule_OLY, which stands for Olympian. And Twitter, you can still put in Natoya Goule and you can find me as well. I also have a YouTube channel, Natoya Goule's World.
Ooh.
And Facebook, Natoya Goule. I don't really have no space to add anyone anyways anymore because they give us a limit. But come on, follow me up on Instagram and tweet. And don't forget to watch your YouTube and subscribe. Click that like, comment, and let others know about Natoya Goule's World.
I'm subscribed right now.
And where are we watching your race? Where are we watching you win a championship?
And World Championship is going to be showing on Flow Track. And Outdoor World Championship, though, is going to be NBC. I'm sure of that. But World Indoors is going to be on Flow Track. And I will be running the 400 meters this weekend before World Indoors. I think you can find it on Runner Space as well. So.
Well, there you go. Luck. I just sent you a friend request now, though, so you can't deny me.
What
happened? There was room for at least one more in there. There's room for one more. All right, DJ Benji Skis, what's going on? Where can we find you?
I mean, that was longer than her intro, so I'm impressed. There's a lot of things to follow.
Leave me alone.
Mine is super simple. You can either put this in your web browser or into Instagram. It's just benji.ski, benji.ski. If you do it on Instagram, hit the little tab that says Beijing 2022 and see all of the fun stories that I put together. There you go. All of the fun stories that I put together from the Olympics.
You're so lucky that stories weren't a thing when you lived in Ibiza. They saved those.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. This was an absolute blast. We totally need to have you back on.
Absolutely.
And best of luck in whatever is coming next, especially with your events there in Jackson Hole and Natoya running in the upcoming championship and in this World Championship year. It's a huge year for you. I can't wait to watch you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Take it easy, guys.
See ya.
All right.
How do I get out of here?
Get her out of here. She was that was adorable. How do I get out of here? That was awesome. Those two are last.
To be honest, I did not realize that Benji just started skiing, when he was 32 years old.
Yeah.
Which it's still time for me. I got 5 years to figure it out.
I was gonna say, so you have an entire other Olympic cycle
cycle
for the summer, and then after that, it's time to take on the winter sports. And you, sky's the limit there. Like he said, Benji said, and we've heard time and time again on this show, skiers start at like 2 years old. If you start at 5, you're considered like old. You're behind. Yeah. 32. That's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and to be honest, just the story of how he kind of got into it is amazing as well. You know,
Right.
Not a lot of times that we as athletes just kind of fall into something, you know, becomes, you know, our legacy. You know, not that BJ is, I mean, Benji is a great DJ. He is, but you know, now to be an Olympic skier is pretty amazing. You know, just after a couple of ski trips where he went on work to find something you love. It's like, you know, you invited me for dinner and then like, hey, there's a hurdle right there. Go jump over that. Oh, yeah. I like this. This is pretty good.
I love that. So this was a great show. Thanks again to you, Devon Allen, co-host extraordinaire. Put this thing on the resume. Put this on your IMDb page right next to the world's greatest Inside American Track League show.
I know. I need to get my freaking trophy. I was telling my buddy that I can get one, and you know,
yeah, they're right there. We'll get one on order for you. The Telly Award winning Devon Allen for best sports television program host. It's a thing. It's a thing. We're gonna be back on Monday next week. I don't know if you're gonna be back. Are you gonna be back? Maybe
I'll be here.
Well, okay, you'll be
until
there.
I take off for spring break training.
Yeah, Josh Awotunde, I think I got the name right. Shot putter will be on. Who just qualified for the World Indoors. So excited to have him on. And also Rosie Brennan, USA Cross Country, is going to be joining us on the show. So
wait, ski cross country or running cross country?
What do you think? Rosie Brennan.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
What does that sound like to you? That's a winter name all day.
I'm all for it. Think, you know, as long as we keep getting winter sports, I'm going to be locked into the show because I love learning about just the different events and how people, you know, get into, you know, pretty much their life in the Olympics. And with Benji, the most recent story, right? Him starting so late, everybody else in Steamboat Springs.
Yep.
That pretty much were born on skis, and just how different their paths are, and a lot to learn, and really cool stories. So I look forward to that.
Yeah, and we're gonna have to buy you a cabin outside Jackson Hole soon, from what I heard.
Jackson Hole or Steamboat. I'm for whatever. I don't like the snow that much, but I do like skis. So
all right. Well, it's starting to become spring here in the States. It's getting a little bit warmer. Rosie's going to be coming to us from Finland, where I'm pretty sure it snows every day of the year. I guess. I don't know. But she's coming to us from Finland. It's going to be great. Devon, thanks as always for coming back on the show. We'll be seeing you on Monday.
Yeah, and you can see you guys on Monday.
Plug yourself before you go.
Devon Allen on Instagram and Twitter. Track Boys Podcast on YouTube. What Were You Thinking on fanfest.io. You can also find us at youtube.com/world's greatest without the vowels.
No, that's regular. Just
wait, that's regular. And then
Twitter is without the vowels.
Without the vowels. So LDSGRTST.
There you go. And Instagram at World's Greatest Team, Facebook at World's Greatest Team. Lots of great content out there. Guys, we will see you back here on Monday, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Thank you for watching. We're out. Boom.